One of the most difficult things that I have learned personally in the past year is that wearing glasses with a mask stinks. It's like the worst, terriblest thing ever. You see, I am a glasses dependent person. I can hardly see without these things on my face. And every time I go in or out of a building or in or out of my car, my glasses, they fog up and I need to just stand there and wait in order to see again. And I'm careful if I don't take my next steps where they're all fogged so I don't run into something. I just have to wait for my glasses to readjust to their new temperature so that I can refocus. And refocusing is what we're going to talk about this whole week on the Daily Dose. We all have heard about 2020 vision, perfect vision. I think that we all had this idea that 2020 was going to offer us a perfect vision for our lives, a perfect vision of the good life, about what our life would look like when we had accomplished our goals, when we finally lost that weight, when we finally got that drinking problem under control, and we had this vision for our new life. But then 2020, it actually happened, and it wasn't perfect vision at all, was it? It kind of wrecked our vision for life. So here we are, stuck standing in the beginning of 2021. We're trying to give the fog time to move off and let our vision readjust so that we can refocus together. So what does it mean to live the good life? What does it mean to live a life that exudes comfort and luxury, free of burdens and full of freedom? In our American society today, it often means living in a big house and driving a comfortable car, or having a thin athletic body, or an amazing love life, or having a savings account. Being able to go on expensive vacations and have all the toys like boats and snowmobiles and giant TVs. To have a marriage that is enviable and kids who excel at everything. Friends, what messages have you received about what it means to have a good life? What messages have you had programmed into you? Just take a look at your New Year's resolutions. If you're a person who makes New Year's resolutions like I do, and this can maybe answer for you what vision you have for the good life. But what if the year 2020, which means perfect vision, what if it did actually help our vision? What if the mess of it all actually gave us time to pause and to refocus into what it means to live a good life? In the Bible, in Luke chapter 15, Jesus tells this story of a father who has two sons. And this younger son, he has this vision of the good life. And so he wants to go out and find it for himself, full of adventure and mystique. He feels like his dad is holding him back. And so he goes to his father and he says, "Father, give me my inheritance right now." And so the father does. He just divides his property between his two sons, one part for his older son that he's going to save and one for his younger son who is going off on his own. Now, at this time in the world's history, this is a huge insult. This is as big as one could possibly be. To demand that one person gets their inheritance before that person has died, it's like saying, "I wish you were dead." So essentially, this younger son is telling his father, "I wish you were dead. Give me my inheritance now." But for some reason, the father, he just lets him go. He agrees to his demand, and the younger son, he goes off on his way. Now, Jesus, he continues the story. He says, not long after that, the younger son got together all he had and set off for a distant country and then squandered all his wealth in wild living. That he had spent everything, and then a severe famine entered the whole country, and he began to be in need. So he went and hired himself out as a citizen of that country. And he was sent into the field to feed the pigs. And here's the younger son. He is longing to fill his stomach with the food that the pigs were eating, but no one gave him anything. You see, this vision that the son had, this vision of wealth, this vision of women and parties, this vision of the good life and wild living, it actually left him in worse shape than he had already started. It left him wanting and desperate and even thinking about eating the pig's food. You see, his vision had changed. What was important to him had changed, and he had started to refocus. Well, Jesus continues this story, and he said, when this son, he came to his senses, he said, how many of my father's hired servants have food to spare, and here I am starving to death? I will set out and go back to my father and say to him, Father, I have sinned against you, and I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired servants. So the son, he got up and he went to his father. But while he was still a long ways off, the father saw him and was filled with compassion for him. And he ran to his son and he threw his arms around him and he kissed him. And he said to him, the son said to his father, he said, Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. But the father quickly said to the servants, go, get the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Bring the fattened calf and kill it. Let's have a feast and celebrate. For this son of mine who was dead is alive again. He was lost and now he has been found. So let us begin to celebrate. You see, it was in the fog of the mess that the son made of his life when the son began to actually understand his father's love for him. And it's the same love that God has for you, my friends. Friends, maybe our vision for the good life is skewed. Maybe the world has got us all fogged up in our thinking, and it pushes us to think that things maybe aren't as glamorous, as important as we think they are. Maybe 2021 will give us the chance to refocus about how we make meaning in our lives and refocus on the vision of the good life that God gives to us. If you know someone who could use this message today, someone who feels like their vision for their life just isn't working out, would you do me a favor? Would you go ahead and share this with them? Would you go ahead and tag them in this if you're on Facebook so that they'll be encouraged to watch it? If you're joining us on YouTube, would you go ahead and hit subscribe? And if you're joining us on cable access, would you invite someone to join with you tomorrow as we refocus 2021 this week? Coming up, Nolan has a song that he has written. It's called Brand New. It's about how we refocus our lives. I know that you're going to enjoy it.
We've seen a great light, mystery and awe so bright. Our lives forever changed. Oh, we follow the call in the night. We've wandered and journeyed so far, following a bright star. We bring our riches and song. Oh, we are Bethlehem bound. Hey! Rejoice, we've been made new. Rejoice, we've been made new. The baby has come, our life has begun. Rejoice, we have been made new. Sometimes it feels like hope is gone. We've prayed for our Christ to come, and now our Savior is born. Our Savior is born. Rejoice, we've been made new. Rejoice, we've been made new. The baby has come, our life has begun. Rejoice, we have been made new. has come, our life has begun. Rejoice, we have made. Rejoice, we've been made new. Rejoice, we've been made new. The baby has come, our life has begun. The earth will rejoice, sing into the night. The season's begun, our Savior has won. Rejoice, we have been